There are only 2 fights so far on UFC 288, and I'm already okay with that. I would pay the pay-per-view money just to see these 2 fights. If you haven't noticed already, it is already going to be Aljamain Sterling versus Henry Cejudo and Charles Oliveira versus Beneil Dariush. We're going to talk about that entire card in just a second, which is 2 fights, but I do want to say before we get into it, hello everybody and welcome back to the video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I'm your guy with too many YouTube channels. Let's talk about these 2 fights. There's one problem I have with this card, okay? The problem is Charles Oliveira versus Beneil Dariush. That is such a fantastic fight. Now I'm thinking this, I have 2 problems. This is one of those fights that I'm like, we need 5 rounds for this fight. And I wish the UFC did this a little bit more often, where you have a fight that's such like, it holds high such a magnitude for the UFC in the division, in the lightweight division. It's so big that you can't put it as a main event, but I still want this fight to be 5 rounds. It is Charles Oliveira versus Beneil Dariush, the 2 guys who obviously deserve a title fight. I honestly think if Charles Oliveira wanted to sit out, he's done enough where he deserves an immediate rematch, especially when people who haven't done nearly as much as him have gotten rematches before, right? And also Beneil Dariush, he should have gotten a title shot a long time ago, especially for all the things that he's said in the UFC and all the things that he's done for the UFC, taking on all the guys that people in the lightweight division would not do, by the way. Beneil has done it, and he has racked up an incredible win streak. He deserves a title fight. Charles Oliveira deserves one because he deserves a rematch. These 2 are taking another risk in fighting each other. This needs to be a 5-round fight. I wish the UFC did the Nate Diaz versus Leon Edwards thing. Why not? I don't get it. Like, a 5-round fight, if it's a big fight, just make it a 5-round fight. It doesn't matter if it's just a co-main event or not. I don't understand why they don't do this. Or even on all pay-per-views, why not make the co-main event, even if it's a not title fight, 5 rounds. I don't know, it's just something that I'd really like to see, but there's another reason why I really hate this fight. That's because I love both fighters, man. Beneil, I've been following his career for a very long time. Probably, I don't know, maybe since I started watching the UFC. Been watching the guy forever. I've just like have such an attachment to him. It's like one of those fighters, you know what I mean, where it's like you just hope he does well every single time. But Charles Oliveira is also that guy. I would say I'm a way bigger fan of Beneil Dariush than I am of Charles Oliveira. But Charles is just one of those guys that I continuously want to see succeed because of all the ups and downs that he's had in his career. It was so wholesome seeing him get the title, and then you could just tell he wears his emotions on his shoulders, right? It was like one of the happiest title wins ever when he won that belt, and then every single time that he defended it. And it was also one of the times where I hurt the most watching him lose the belt against Islam Makhachev. You know what I mean? He's just one of those guys that I always cheer for, and I really, really want to see succeed, and I really want to see be happy. But on the other side of the coin, I want the same for Beneil Dariush. I'm a bigger fan of Beneil Dariush. He hasn't had that chance yet, so I think I do have to end up cheering for Beneil Dariush once they finally get together. But man, I do not like that fight. It's just the 2 fighters in the division that I don't want to lose. I swear to God, like I would probably, out of everybody in that lightweight division, I'd probably cheer for these 2 over anybody. Maybe Volkanovski if he's back in there, because I love Volkanovski too, but yeah, I can think about it. Like, I'd cheer for him over Poirier, Gaethje, Chandler, who else in that division? Arman Saruki, and I'd like to see him do well, but I'm not, like, too big of a fan of him. Regardless, like, you get the point. These 2 guys are some of my favorite fighters ever, and it sucks that one of them has to lose, and this is, like, a really bad loss to have. Beneil loses, then he's probably not going to get a title fight, like, ever, unless he steps on short notice, and if Charles Oliveira loses, that puts him on a 2-fight skid. He's going to have to take on somebody later on in the division, and who knows what that is going to do with him. Regardless, that's just one fight, okay? The next fight is Henry Cejudo versus Aljamain Sterling. I actually don't have a problem with this one. A lot of people have been having a problem with this one because Henry's coming back after so long, and a lot of people don't think he deserves a title fight. I understand where you're coming from, and I don't disagree with that. It's just like, I don't care. That's where I'm at. I don't care. Like, he just gave up the title. He never lost the belt. Yeah, throw him back in there. I don't care if you didn't give him one. I didn't care if you did give him one. That's kind of where I'm at. I see both sides of that argument. Regardless, as a Henry Cejudo fan, I think he's going to get destroyed by Sterling. He's been off for too long. He's gotten too fat. Who knows how much he's been training. He has been training with Mighty Mouse, which is a very, very good sign, but still, I don't like it. He could have went out as one of the greatest fighters of all time, and he might come back and tarnish his record, especially in the 135 division, where it is by far the most stacked division ever. There is no way, even if he gets past Aljamain Sterling, which I don't think he will, even if he gets past Sterling, you have 15 plus other killers coming in ready to take that belt. I swear to God, anybody in that top 15 and even beyond, I would say every single time, no matter what, it's a toss-up who would win the fights. Yeah, you can have your prediction, but though that division is so competitive that you can take number 20 and take number 2. They can fight each other, and I'd be like, I don't know who would win. You know what I mean? I don't like this for Henry Cejudo's legacy, but if he does it, I'll be cheering for him. I'm a big Henry Cejudo fan. So UFC 288, it's looking real good so far, guys. It's looking real good. And it's going to tug on the heartstrings a little bit because I really want Henry to win, and I don't want to watch Beneil or Charles lose. Regardless, these are 2 absolutely incredible fights. I can't wait to see what the UFC does with this card. It's going to be a lot of fun. I would actually pay the full price of pay-per-view just to watch those 2 fights. I'm not even kidding with you. So this is where I'll leave it up to you guys. Let me know what you think down below, and thank you so much for watching this video. If you were new here and enjoyed the content, please consider the like button, it would help a chill ton, and subscribe if you are brand new. Check description down below for links to all my other channels, and if you would like to hear me talk about more fight talk about anything MMA, hit that notification bell. Thank you so much for watching, and guys, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.